So other than it being super hot there, how you been?
I'm doing good.
That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Mostly just been trying to manage getting enough energy to do stuff.
Valid. Like, I almost didn't. I almost canceled the stream because it's so hot outside.
Yeah. Oh, I cannot hear the game.
That's because it is currently muted.
Ah, okay.
If I didn't have it muted, we would be DMCA hell.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually switched to the start yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hello, Aroki. This is a spoilers yes stream, by the way.
Oh, it is? Okay. I was
Yes.
like wondering.
Yeah, because I don't know if I could not talk about spoilers, honestly. I do not have the self control.
Yeah.
I
Well,
see
that's the thing,
Ansem and I
especially
want to punch him.
especially going back to like the especially going back to the first three Kingdom Hearts games. It's like you see those and you're like, oh man, all the context that gets added on by later games is just
Yeah, it's like, oh, this 10 seconds of screen time becomes a major plot point in about 7 games.
like the fact that just yeah, Nominee being blonde becomes like a big plot thing in a
Yeah,
sense.
which doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess it
I
does,
mean,
but also it doesn't.
and
Oh, I forgot to change the uh, capture. It's still trying to find Minecraft.
oh no.
Yeah, I am no longer playing Minecraft. I am playing
It
Kingy Heart.
it's I hopped into the stream and the first thing that I heard was like it makes sense but it doesn't. It's just like that's Kingdom Hearts, baby.
That is Kingdom Hearts. And I'm just gonna get started before things can start auto playing again. And,
What?
and, and then
And
I
not
will
playing
unmute.
on Proud. What?
I like to actually enjoy my games. I've been watching Mira, and she's having a miserable time.
Yeah. Well, that's Kingdom Hearts too.
That's
Uh,
true.
GH1 Proud is. I mean, you can tell it's a final mix edition.
Yeah, it is also still miserable, but
Yeah.
it's a different
I
kind.
I so I never so I had both this and Parts 2 back on the PS2. Like it wasn't until like high school that I got my PS2 just to play older games. I never
Hmm.
quite finished either of them. I need to do that because I do have the like the 1.5 and 2.5 you know thing on the PC, which is how I played Birth by Sleep. So I could go back and play through them again. So I would like to at some point.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I was
they're
just
good games if you like
Yeah,
meet them
they're
on
very
their
good.
level.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there was an article I was reading that was pretty much about like debunking pretty much the whole idea of like pretty much just like oh all of the things people associate with Kingdom Hearts that Nomura is quote unquote ruining Final Fantasy with are all things that were in Final Fantasy to begin with.
Yeah, like have these people played a Final Fantasy? Specifically, have they played a Final Fantasy before 7?
Well, that's the
Also,
thing. Even Seven gets silly with it.
That's true.
yeah, because I need to go back and play through 9. It was what I played through was very good, and I want to finish it someday.
Yeah, my current plan is to go back and forth playing Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy on every other Friday. I will finish all of them eventually. There's a lot more Final Fantasy than there is Kingdom Hearts, though.
That's true.
Yeah, my the two big like games I want to stream are the Mario and Luigi games and Persona Q2.
That'll be fun. I've never experienced a Persona game.
It's man, Persona. I have either Persona 5, which is like one of my best friend's like favorite games ever made. It's finally coming to PC, so I'll be able to play, and I am excited.
Well, the Persona. So, have you heard of the Etrian Odyssey games on DS?
Yes, I have.
I have not.
Pretty much they're like sort of they're like mystery dungeon games, but more on like the traditional dungeon crawler RPG side of it. But one of the main mechanics is you have to fill out the map yourself.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Like the touchscreen, like most of them have like an autofill option for at least where like the walls of the dungeon are. But for stuff like chests or stuff, you have to mark it on the map yourself. The Persona Q games are spin-offs of both Etrian Odyssey and Persona, where they're crossover Persona games.
That's a lot of things.
So Q2 is a crossover of all of the characters from Persona 3 through 5.
That sounds pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, it also is the only other game to have the female protagonist of Persona 3 Portable.
Good for them.
And they actually do a lot with her character in that game. The fact that for Persona Q2, Persona 3 Portable is an alternate timeline, and she's the only one from that timeline who's in that game. All of the other Persona 3 characters are from the original timeline, so they have no clue who she is, but she knows all of them.
Oh, that's fun. Also, hi, Toby. I see you in chat. I'm looking at you, and I'm pointing. Anyway, what kind of build should I make?
I don't know, because I don't know like what all, because I know they determine what all your different abilities, like when you get different abilities. I don't know how.
Bring up the chart.
Like I don't know how it affects them. I just know it does.
Yeah, I'm good at playing on any of them. Usually I pick either shield or wand, though, so...
Yeah.
They maybe do sword to switch it up a little bit.
Here, let me find... I'm looking at an ability guide. I am very much up for being a good advocator, at least on, like, technical stuff that the game doesn't tell you.
Hell yeah. As long as I get, like, dodge roll before level 60, I'm good.
Yeah, the thing is, sword gives you scan the earliest.
Yeah, I don't really need that too much. And I do use a lot of magic, so I'm not going to be giving that one up, so keep that in mind also. And, yeah, I don't think I've played with sword since, like, the first time I played, so maybe that's a good idea.
Shield gives you guard the first, at level 15.
I do not use that. Like, you cannot pay me to use the block button.
Yeah.
I think the only time I've ever used the block button was in Dream Drop for, like, a challenge.
It also gets second chance at 36.
It's pretty handy in 358, particularly for like the big siege engine boss, because you can reflect the fireballs it shoots out of its cannon, and that'll destroy the archers.
Ooh.
Here, let me put the guide I'm looking at.
It also reflects the shadow fireballs that Terra Nort shoots at you in Birth by Sleep.
I will have to keep that in mind. I haven't actually played Birth by Sleep, but the other ones
good.
I just
I recently finished playing it. I like it a lot.
Nice.
When I played Birth by Sleep, I played it on my PS Vita in the middle of the night, and the ice cream mini game almost killed me. Joking,
Yeah,
but
that's
also I
no. I've seen people play the ice cream mini game, and it looks like a disaster. I'm gonna turn the game down just a little bit.
it is not clear at all
Alrighty.
about how many points you need to continue, and you have to finish it to continue the plot.
Ugh. I'm really glad that Bugs didn't struggle with that one.
Yeah,
it's-
I was. If you probably saw me in chat being extremely upset that Bugs got it in one go.
Yeah. I mean, they did struggle on the others, so
Yeah,
equivalent
but
exchange.
Melody of Memory is the only rhythm game I'm good at.
That's fair.
I haven't played Melody yet. I oughta.
It's really fun. It's weird for a rhythm game, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, pretty much only the boss battles and dives are like the only ones that are more traditional rhythm game style stuff.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh,
also,
so you're saying I can't use the Rock Band guitar for it?
oh no, you can.
You absolutely can.
You absolutely can. And honestly, I would recommend it.
Yeah,
That sounds like fun.
that would be really fun.
Because the thing is, pretty much all you need are like a set of buttons for your like, because you pretty much just need 4 buttons and something you can move left and right.
Okay.
Oh wait, 5 buttons.
Yeah. Well, 3 of them are the same button, but you have to be able to hit all 3 of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am slowly working on getting every single star in that game, and some of those challenges are really hard.
My current challenge with Melody of Memory is going through all of the bosses per difficulty and like starting with trying to like full chain each difficulty of the bosses.
That's really hard. Good luck.
I haven't started Proud on those yet. Oh, fun fact, there's a critical mode mod for Melody of Memory.
I'm going to be excited for when that becomes relevant in like 6 years.
I live in fear of the people who make that mod.
Yeah.
It's also been interesting seeing like the fact that like I've been following the Melody of Memory modding scene since it began, and man, seeing people finally making like custom charts is really cool.
Yeah.
I do love a good custom chart in a rhythm game. Though that does kind of make me wish that the theater rhythm games were on PC. Because
Yeah.
I love the gameplay of those.
Yeah, 'cause that was the first thing I noticed about Melody of Memory is that it seems to be pretty much like a spiritual successor to the theater rhythm games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. Oh, what is wrong with our shadows?
Oh.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
fine.
KH1 PC is like has the most issues.
Yeah, well, it is a 20-year-old game that they just got around to porting.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, it's a port of an almost 10-year-old PS3 port.
Yeah.
And PS3s are actually like pretty cheap nowadays. And you can easily and really easy to mod, so I've been thinking, man, do I want to push to get a PS3?
I think it'd be worth it.
Because even on eBay, I've seen them like go for like $60.
Yeah, that generation, none of the consoles did like particularly well, so none of them are like treasured or anything. So they definitely go for pretty cheap.
Because like the thing I'm surprised about the PS3 being so cheap is the the only way to like play PS3 games that haven't been ported if you don't want to go through like cloud gaming is on the PS3.
Yeah,
Like I get Xbox 360s being kind of cheaper now, but that's because the your Xbox 360 games can be played on the Xbox One.
yeah, and even a lot of those have wound up getting ported to PC, especially recently.
Oh yeah.
Camera. I love watching these disappear behind.
Yeah.
Man, each one is like the perfect encapsulation of Yoko Shimomura's music style in the early 2000s.
Hmm.
Like, it hits right in that sweet spot of Final Fantasy and like for even more cartoony soundtracks like the Mario RPGs.
Yeah, the thing with the Mario RPGs is like they're so much more dramatic than you would expect from a Mario game, just because
Yeah.
Shinamura worked on them.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, uh, suddenly I'm blanking on what the name of the developer for the Mario and Luigi games are. But it's literally the same team from Square Enix that worked on the original Mario RPG.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
Alpha Dream.
Alpha Dream, yeah. Yeah, no, that literally that dev studio was pretty much founded by ex-Square Enix devs who worked on Mario RPG.
That's amazing.
Yep. Yeah. While the Paper Mario series isn't exactly the same as Mario and Luigi, but I finally played Thousand Year Door a couple years ago during like the start of pandemic and whatnot, and it's one of my favorite JRPGs ever made, probably.
Oh yeah, because Paper Mario intelligence system, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Super Paper Mario is also good. Very,
Yeah,
very, very good.
That was my first Paper Mario game, and I never really got far in it because I was renting it, and it was like
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah. Also, the story's just like really good and dark.
Yeah.
Like it's like I know like there are people who like some of the newer ones, like Color Splash and Origami King, and I will not deny that. I'm sure they're fun in their own right, but like just like part of the appeal for me of the Paper Mario games is always that the story was allowed to be a little different. Like it wasn't just like the world wasn't just like, oh, it's old regular Mario enemy, but Paper now like they're like, I mean, yeah, they're there, but like there's also like other stuff, but just like having it just be like, oh, now it's regular old Mushroom Kingdom in an individual style just kind of doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah, like even the later Mario and Luigi games, like yeah, they focused a bit more on like the Mario like basic enemy side of it, but they still got to like be weird with it, you know?
Yeah.
I've never
Like,
played
so
any of
that's-
these games.
Well, 'cause the last Mario and Luigi game is literally a crossover with Paper Mario.
Yeah, I forgot.
And even
Yeah.
that one has like even that one Shimamura goes all out on that soundtrack too.
Yep. Friggin' the final battle theme from inside story goes hard.
Yeah, in the final.
Yeah, sure. Say, Kyrie, what was your hometown like? You know, where you grew up?
I told you before. I don't remember.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
You ever want to go back?
So I'm not gonna like talk about it too much here because like it's not entirely relevant to this game specifically, but like
But no.
I'm sure it was just like a like a fun little like thing or whatever, but like I really want to like
Other worlds out there.
Dreamcraft and like brainstorm about like Aqua just getting Kyrie's Keyblade in Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just supposed to be like a hint or
Yeah, or just like a fun thing. It's like, hey, use the Keyblade. Like the specific Keyblade your character has doesn't really matter.
I mean, like, by that point, we already knew Kyrie had Destiny Embrace from PH2.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, oh, but like, did Aqua have it first? Whoa.
yeah, like most likely it was just an Easter egg, but also I wouldn't put it past Nomura to make it plot important.
Yeah. The weirdest thing too is that like Riku just hands it to her as well.
Yeah, why did Riku have it? Is the thing.
Can Riku just make Keyblades?
I mean,
Boom, boom.
it's that weird sort of thing where it's like, okay, it's still like the original trilogy of Kingdom Hearts games, you know?
Yeah.
2005, I'm guessing Nomura had some of the story plotted out, but not. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think,
Yeah, I think he had like the broad strokes, but not like the little details.
yeah, I don't think a lot of stuff got finalized till like page 2 final mix, and that was like 2007. Which is still, I mean, I was gonna say pretty early, but then it was like, I'm also thinking about the fact that because of how long PH3 took in development, just, man, how far in advance has Kingdom Hearts been plotted out since it more than it
Yeah.
was in like 2012, you know?
Yeah, it's like the bit with like, you know, how there was the nominate drawing of like Roxas and Axel in the foreground, and then in the background two figures in the Orc 13 cloaks, and like then compare that to like the shot from 358 Days Over 2. Like, I don't know necessarily if like I want to say that like Nomura had that planned out, and it could just be like, you know, a little thing like, haha, this is a nod to that thing that we established. But like, but also,
Well, I think part of what, like Kingdom Hearts doesn't just let Nomura go off as a story writer, it lets him go off as a character designer.
yeah,
Like, I don't think he always, from the beginning, had, like, the Guardian part of Anson's ship to be Terra's armor,
yeah,
or for that even to be Terra from the beginning. But then, oh, I need to design an armor I need to design armor for this character. Let's base it off this established. Let's put this off, like, based on this established character. Like, or like Strelixia's design matching up with the Reaper Marluxia summons in his boss fight.
That's neat. I didn't even realize that second one.
Yeah, it looks like Strelitzia. And it's like, and this is before Marluxia would even remember her, so it's like, oh boy.
Oh boy, emotional drama.
Yeah, or even the fact that, hey, you made it so, like, you retconned it to be, so yeah, not only were, like, the add-on of retcon of going from just, yeah, Ben was in Castle Oblivion, which, you know, at the time was, oh, Ben was in Castle Oblivion, where Marluxia and Martina were at the time. And then you get to Union Cross and it's, oh, Ben, Marluxia, and Larxene we're all in Castle Oblivion together at the same time, and yet they didn't know they had a past together.
Hey, Al? Hey, Al.
To be fair,
then-
Nomura also did not know that yet.
Yeah, but also, ow.
Like, retconning isn't an inherently bad thing if you do it right.
Yeah.
And then you have the, hey, let's be sad about Zemnis for the 500th time. Each time Nomura goes, hey, what if I added the chance of there being even more memories trapped in there? And then you get the player Nort reveal.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch all the cutscenes because I watched back cover, but that was before like the whole story was finished and everything. So, like, given that this stuff is very rapidly approaching being like required viewing for understanding where the next major arc of the story is going to go, that's probably good.
The main frustrating thing about Union Cross and Dark Road is you are not going to be understanding them in like the time they came out, because they specifically set up mysteries in Dark Road that only got solved once Union Cross finished.
I have a lot of watching to do. I haven't tried to comprehend either of those.
Like, because Dark Road was originally supposed to wrap up before Union Cross, and then they both got stuck on hiatus. But pretty much, they set up in Dark Road that, oh wow, for some reason Xehanort's having memories of Union Cross. What's up with that? And then the Union Cross finale comes out, and at the very end, they reveal that your player character, the protagonist of Union Cross, reincarnates into Xehanort.
Uh-huh.
And Xehanort seems to have lingering memories. Which
Yeah,
they
hey,
then...
So the Xehanort was all of us this entire time.
hey, spoilers for Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, by the way.
I mean, we already said this was spoilers.
Yeah, this is a spoilers, yes, but also
Okay, cool.
I had none of these spoilers before 10 seconds ago, and it's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is...
Yeah, like, again, I don't have the full context for it, but I knew that much. It was... Whoa.
The thing is, in the same, couple years, we're gonna get both the reveal of what Xehanort looked like as a baby and how Xehanort went bald.
I thought he was just an old bitch.
No, Nomura has stated that next month we're gonna find out how Xehanort went bald.
Why is this relevant?
It's probably not.
It's funny.
Honestly, I think he was joking, but because he knows he has that kind of power now,
Yeah.
where even if it's something that's like a joke reveal, he can still say it with all seriousness.
Yeah. And everyone would be like, what?
Just sitting here won't change a thing. It's the same old stuff. So let's go.
And then there's Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, which is what I'm most excited for, because it's gonna solve the big cliffhanger that Union Cross left on. Because they still left Union Cross on a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
Of
you know,
course they did.
the one cliffhanger from Cross.
Yeah, that hasn't already been resolved, or it will be resolved in PH4.
If two people share one,
I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm gonna have no idea what half of it is going on because it's so hard to care about the mobile games when you can't play them anymore.
Yeah. I'm just hoping Missing Link gets a Switch port. Because
Yeah.
that game looks like it's gonna have actual Kingdom Hearts gameplay. My phone will not be able to run that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd also love for someday for there to be like a remake of Union Cross and everything, but as an actual Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah. The thing is,
Like, the thing is, like, having the customizable character will be a lot, especially for like cutscenes.
Yeah. The thing is, I doubt they're gonna give us like a full cutscene remake of it because there's even if you strip the Disney worlds, there's still a lot of content to remake.
Yeah.
My main frustration is that, which is what the main thing that makes Union Cross not accessible right now, is because you can still download the app and use the theater mode. The theater mode is not sorted properly.
Yeah. That's
That's
because yeah, that's
They
I
have
I,
it
ha- I
sorted by
have the
world and not in order.
yeah, it's I have the app, and so that's like I haven't started watching it yet, but like I looked up, I had to find a Reddit thing that's like, okay, here's the order that you are supposed to watch all of these. And I know you said the other night, I think, Minnie, that like the ones that matter the most are the Wreck-It Ralph ones, but I'm still gonna watch all of them.
Oh yeah, no, you can watch all of them. It's just I say that because that's easier to remember, and also they give you a clear point where you're supposed to start watching the Wreck-It Ralph cutscenes.
Yeah.
yeah. I'd really like like how they did with Recoded and Rechain of Memories, a port to like, even if it's just the already existing theater mode,
Yeah,
but you know, in order.
because like I still recommend the app over watching a cutscene collection on YouTube. Because part of the charm of Union Cross is that it's your character going
Yeah.
through all this. Like the reveal of, oh yeah, some like quiet, pretty much nameless kid becomes Xehanort isn't as impactful when it's not your character.
Yeah, when it's not your Blorbo from your imagination.
Yeah, Strelitzia having a crush on the protagonist isn't as fun as when it's, oh, Strelitzia? Yeah, she has a crush on your character.
Okay, but the player being Xehanort kind of sucks though, because I'm already balding in real life at 23.
No.
Well, the thing is, it's not even like, yeah, your character is literally saying, oh yeah, we can see your chat messages.
Yeah, they get like reincarnated or whatever, but
Yeah, it's explicitly like your character is given the choice. Do you effectively become a Dream Eater, or do you let yourself pass on?
I would like to be a Meow Wow.
God, but no, the fact that that was the other bigger. Oh, did stream freeze?
Uh-oh.
It doesn't look like it.
Are you watching on Twitch or?
Oh, I'm watching. Yeah, I was gonna say. Vegeta said I think it's stream froze, so that's why I was checking, but it
Yeah.
seems to just be on your end.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have the best connection, so you never know.
It looks fine
Give
to
me-
me.
I had to like look up how to do this part because I couldn't figure out how to like get the fish, and I didn't know that you could just like lock onto them.
You can lock onto them?
Yeah,
That would make this a lot easier if I had known that.
boy, it sure would, wouldn't it?
The
It sure would
funniest
make
part
it
about
easier
me-
if you knew that you could lock onto the fish, huh?
The funniest part about KH1 is that despite having the worst camera, has the best lock on.
Yeah. Up, Sora. Up. Thank you. Damn
Or
it.
at the very least, that's the most consistent lock on. Because for some reason they decided every game they're going to switch which button lets you swap which enemy you're targeting.
Yeah, that's not confusing or anything.
And then in later games they decided, oh, if the enemy disappears, so does your lock on it.
Which is the most annoying.
Yeah.
But I guess they just didn't want people cheesing bosses like they did Sabor.
It doesn't cheese the fight. It doesn't make the fight less cheesable. It just makes it more confusing.
This is true.
trying to figure. I literally had to stop fighting the boss. So during the Reaper section of Cage 3, I had to stop fighting the boss to figure out where it was.
Yeah.
You know, this bot, this like enemy that's primarily that's heartless, so it's primarily black colors in a dark area.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. You can see. We don't need to worry about that, right? Right. There's this thing where you can get stuck right here, and it'll break the
Oh.
rock. But I think they might have fixed it for this port. Unfortunate. Because it's very funny.
What is it that I also think would be fun? Is doing a tournament of specifically the multiplayer of GBA Chain of Memories.
That would be very funny. I also think it would be really funny to play the multiplayer of Roxas's bad time.
Yeah. I wish I had
Very
friends who
bad
had
no
that
good
game
summer.
so that I could play mission mode with them. It would have been so much fun.
Yeah, I was the only person in my entire friend group to get the game though. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been eyeing the 358 days ESI. That thing is pretty.
Ooh, I don't think I've seen that. Let me look it up.
I haven't either. What should we name the raft?
See, we could just call it the vibe check.
Yeah, but that's
But-
Bug's thing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I am also thinking.
I don't know how. It was that just.
No. I have a terrible idea.
Yeah. There we go, baby.
The whoa.
There we go.
And that's not gonna fit, Toby. It only has like 10 characters.
Want to hear a fun fact?
Yes, I would love to hear your fun fact.
The first recorded use of the Uwu emoticon is a Yu-Gi-Oh forum.
I love this. You know, everything comes back to either Yu-Gi-Oh, Star Trek, or Supernatural.
Deal?
Yeah.
The winner gets to share a Palpy with Kyrie.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, on my count.
The only episodes of Supernatural I've ever seen, like, not necessarily like against my will, more so just that I was in the same room, so it was on.
The only season or the only series of Star Trek I've watched is Star Trek Voyager, and I watched it during I was trapped inside during a hurricane.
Oh boy.
2018 was a year.
Yeah. Ah, fuck. Well, I lost the race.
Oh no. Oh no.
Come
Oh,
on,
no.
please! Please! I am begging! Why is this ledge so hard to get up?
I've been oh so good.
Riku, I hate you.
Is it even? It's possible, right?
Yeah, I literally just jumped up this ledge a minute ago. There it is.
You ever
Oh
think
man.
about the fact
It was going so well.
It
Doing
was.
everything right.
you ever
The
think
game was
about
just
the
like,
fact
no.
that it's canonically on the naughty list because Riku told him not to believe in Santa.
Yeah, Riku's kind of a dick. Honestly.
Now I am just imagining Cage 2 Riku being angsty about that specifically.
Oh god, I made Sora be on the naughty list!
That's what I love about Dazed and Cage 2. Riku is he's such a dork. Like, he plays it off. Like, I think that's the funniest thing is this is Riku when he's quote unquote cool, but he's also such a dork.
I know.
And again, that's just Riku in everything.
Yeah, he's trying so hard to be cool, but also he's like 16, so.
Yeah. It's just that Tumblr post of like, remember whenever you were 15 and you were convinced that you were like evil and irredeemable, but it turns out you were literally just 15.
But it's also
Yeah.
funny that like the second you realize that Riku's rival to Sora very much be read as, oh, Riku has a crush on Sora. And
Yeah.
that just makes Cage even funnier because it's like, oh man, so how can Sora ever love me if I'm like this? And Sora's immediately like, oh hey Riku.
Hey, it's Riku! I like you! Come back! Why are you leaving me?
I love this art by the artists. They go by I think their Twitter and Tumblr handle both is Hellspawn Motel. They have like art where it's like Riku get like when like comes back and he's like Cage 2 design and he's like just like hunched over or whatever and he's got his super long hair. And like Sora's like, oh man, he got so tall, and then Kyrie's just like, is that a caveman?
I think all of the best art is when they draw Kyrie taller than Sora, but still shorter than Riku. It feels right.
Sora should be the shortest one of the three, yes.
Yeah.
He should get to be like 5'4" maximum.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh hey, it's this bitch.
What are you talking about?
I can't believe this specifically becomes plot relevant. Spooky asshole in a cape saying ominous shit to a 12-year-old becomes plot
Guy-
relevant.
Guy in funny robe.
Where did you come from?
I also love that, like, on old TVs, like CRTs, you could not see him at all. Like, it was so dark in this
The
room.
fact that she even make the fact that Ansem like specifically targets Destiny Island plot relevant is
Well,
like
you'll see. I'm gonna get out and
Yeah.
find what's out there.
Meaningless effort.
I mean, as soon as you find out, like, this is his hometown, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. I,
Well, the
too,
thing is,
would
you
fuck
find
over
out
my
that-
hometown, if possible.
well, it's also the context of, oh, Xehanort was alone on this island.
Aw.
Like, Dark Road very specifically sets up that for a good while, there were a bunch of worlds that weren't loaded in yet, and they were just empty. And Destiny Islands was one of those.
That's sad.
Also, wait, hold on. Oh, let's look at this rock, please. Go back. Go back. No.
Which
no,
one?
no,
The Riku rock?
The big
The-
one.
the-
The big one.
This is our friend Riku.
I think this is supposed to be Waka.
Yeah, I never looked at these, but they're great.
Yeah, I love Big Rock. I love Little
Riku
Riku
Rock.
over here.
Yeah.
The Phoenix. Donald Duck over here.
I love the chocobo with an X over it.
Yeah, no chocobos in this game.
I hate chocobos. I hate them. One time, whenever I was really little, Riku went to a chocobo farm on the other side of the island, and one of them got mad and chased after me. It was scary.
Also, man, Sora's been
And they
Oh,
fought Slimer.
it's them protecting Kyrie.
Aw.
What were you saying about Sora?
I was gonna say, so yeah, Sora, like, even in just going off of purely KH1, man, Sora's been having apparently prophetic dreams for a while.
Yeah. Oh, it's Riku the King.
Also, then there's the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, Cheshire Cat's there. Bunch of suits of cards. Sora being woken up by
A dog.
Pluto.
Yep.
Disney Castle. Uh, I I know it's not. It's just the weird way it warps, but that looks like. Oh wait, no, that's Traverse Town.
Yeah. Although, were you gonna say it looks like Castle Oblivion?
A little bit like Castle Oblivion.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it is probably supposed to be Traverse Town, but
Yeah.
oh, I love the King Riku drawing. It's really cute.
But the
Yeah.
fact that like Donald and Goofy are the clearest of those drawings. Ooh.
Yeah.
Which also, yeah, that probably adds to why Sora immediately starts trusting them, huh?
Yeah, he's like, oh, hey, I've seen you guys in my dreams, like, a lot. I think you're probably cool.
Me and Titus, we are gonna do a little exploring today. You know, the secret place at the base of that tree.
Yeah, maybe don't go in there. There's weird dude
Huh?
saying mysterious, weird shit. Anyway.
Yeah, totally secret. It's like, whoa, what are all these mysterious markings?
I like the
Is this a prophecy that says Riku's going to be king?
Well, the thing is, I also like that's. I like the implication that this isn't just, oh, the secret place for kids on the island. No, this is a secret place for specifically Riku, Kairi, and Sora.
Uh-huh.
And that, oh, this was even Riku and Sora's place before Kairi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, also, I forever think about the fact that in this game it says, oh yeah, it's been 9 years since I last, saw home, and it's like, oh, that only happened a year after Birth by Sleep.
Yeah. Like, at most, a year. Which means that, Zehanort really got busy fast.
Language change.
Yep.
What do you mean? Well,
So,
Also just,
this
I love
scene,
the-
I love this scene, but
left and go.
they completely changed these lines, like, to an entirely different meaning. And it makes me so mad. Because originally she was like, I don't know if this is a good idea. I don't want to do this.
I was a little afraid of
yeah.
Ah!
Now I'm ready. No matter where
Kind of
I
wish
go,
Kairi's later outfits had more purple on them,
I know I can always come back here,
like hers does here.
right?
Like pink is fine and all, but
That's good.
Purple is a
Yeah.
good color, too.
Sora?
yeah, it's
The-
it and
the
it and red are both
pink
my
were a good
favorite.
choice, though.
I just can't wait. Once we set sail, it'll be great.
Yeah, thinking of also the fact that Kairi's HUD specifically has Cherokee HUD, Cherokee ears at page 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they didn't say anything about it, which makes me squint.
Especially given, the specific role we're told the Cherokee were designed for,
Mm-hmm.
which was to protect the hearts of people after they died. Which also just the fact that when you realize, oh yeah, Ben's Cherokee is literally the last Cherokee.
The last one.
Oh dear. What could this mean?
I don't think Larxene and Merluz,
Just have
I don't think theirs made it once they died and became nobodies.
No, I think something bad probably happened to those two.
It's like, that's also what I'm like curious about is, I want to know what like Morium and Alrino were doing in that in-between period of arriving in the future and becoming nobodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we don't get at least a little section of that, I'm gonna be surprised, because I imagine it was probably pretty important.
Like especially when especially with how they're bringing Strelixia back in the story for full. It's like, I'm also just please make it so Strelitzia as a party member and not just in Quadratum.
Yeah. It'd be nice if female characters that were not Xion and Aqua got anything at all.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine the Sora, Riku, and Strelitzia road trip game?
That would be amazing.
It's like, that's from all the interviews and from how they've set up in the trailer of Cage 4 is, I'd be surprised if it wasn't about a road trip to get back to Kingdom Hearts world. Like,
Yeah.
That would rule.
Like, Riku shows up and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, there's no way out.
Then why are you here, Riku? Because you're my best.
it's also, I think one of the big questions is going to be, hey, so if this was a world that was without light or darkness, and the entrance to this world was specifically sealed, and the only place to get there is from the final world, which can only be opened in specific circumstances,
AKA, you are dead.
you are dead, or you're making a connection with someone who's already there.
Yeah.
How is there darkness going?
That's definitely going to be the main plot line. Like, there's
Yeah,
no
also-
way.
Probably could address the fact that, hey, Sora's full of darkness.
Yeah, he's got more than just a little bit of darkness in there.
Yeah. Also, what are your guys' thoughts on the... Like, I assume you've seen the thing that was, like, the one frame from the trailer that, like, appeared to be showing off the foot of an S8... Well, appeared to be an ATST from Star Wars. How do you guys feel about Star Wars art?
I feel like it would fit.
Yeah. I personally... I would prefer if it were Clone Wars. One, because Clone Wars rules. Two, because it's animated. And so, art style-wise, I think it would end up a little more appealing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I-
I definitely feel like going.
I think they're probably going to be doing, like, mostly live action
That's what
for
it
this
seems,
one.
Yeah.
But I kind of really don't want them to put Star Wars in it, simply because Star Wars is a big multi-world thing. And, like, yeah, they've had multi-world and, like, spaceship stuff before, but I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I mean, they could just go to, like, the Death Star.
I mean,
Yeah.
from what they've shown, it seems to be if it is Star Wars, it's probably going to be like Endor or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Nor Sora, that's no moon.
God.
Like Nora has stated that like going forward, he's going to focus on like worlds that the team can make visually impressive. Was his wording, which I'm guessing means probably mostly like 3D animated or live action worlds.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney doesn't have a whole lot of 2D animated stuff left for them to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, unless they want to stop being cowards and start letting them be furries, they're gonna have to just do 3D ones.
Oh, could you friggin' Robin Hood world?
Just imagine Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah.
Yeah, let them be mousy.
I need more.
Ven got to be a mouse. Let everybody else be a mouse, please.
Exactly.
The thing is, Ven should have been a mouse is the issue.
Yeah, but the PSP didn't exactly have a lot of power to have multiple models.
What are you talking about? We gotta find Kyrie.
Kyrie's coming with us. Once we step through, he might not be able to come back.
Plus, they still have the sign fitted on UM.
There's no turning back.
Please just let Sora reunite with his mom, please, or show us what happened when he did. Like, I personally believe, like, oh, they all 100, like, while we don't see it, they all 100% go and, like...
Well, I like the setup. Because I like the idea that there's at least a year between H2 and Dream Drop, just because.
Yeah.
Also, I like the idea that being a motif that in between all of the numbered games has been a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, give them some time to just be normal kids.
Please.
Please.
That was the whole thing at the end of H2. It's like this is the chance to go back to the island, and even if it's just for a little while, they get to reconnect to their home for just a little bit longer. Because it was really only Kyrie that got to be home for a year.
Yeah, and for most of it, she didn't remember the fact that her friends existed.
Yeah.
As far yeah, she only remembers that Riku moved like in her like she only remembers that Riku like moved away in her memory. She doesn't remember that oh yeah, all of that stuff happened.
Oh yeah, my best friend Sora, who I probably have a crush on, exists.
Or you know, yeah, this kid who I was friends with for about 9 years moved away and I just oh yeah, they moved. Like
I mean, yeah, that does happen in the real world, but also this is a small island community. Where did he go?
but what was he in her mind only a year after Riku had moved in her memory, so it would be like but also I I do like that she like got to go to school for a little bit longer before getting thrown back into
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
But like like I don't like that Kairi like immediately gets kidnapped to get in cage 2, but
Yeah.
at least she got to be conscious for it this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they at least made it feel more like Kairi's part of the adventure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even if most of what she did was get kidnapped and run away from Axel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Kyrie being kidnapped is kind of used more of as a plot point to make you think, oh no, can I trust Axel? And it's like, no, he was effectively trying to protect her.
He
but-
was doing his best. His best just happens to be kind of shitty.
Yeah. There's a really one of my favorite descriptions I've heard of Axel as a character. It was like from some other playthrough I watched where it's like, I think it was Oni plays, but like, they asked like, hey, what do you think of Axel? He's like, I think I like him. I don't think he's ever made a good decision in his life.
He has made one good decision, and that was saying, hey, actually, fuck this to the organization at the very end.
Yeah. Like, I like that as they, like, slowly built on, like, Axel and Sykes' friendship and relationship, they, like, make it clear that leaving the organization was a tough choice for him. That's good. And that, like, they use so much good on writing the dynamic of, like, the organization from Axel and Sykes' perspective.
Yeah, like it's I'd say like the plot right like again while I still love the plots of these games, like I think the plot writing can be kind of sloppy, but like it is the character writing and their interactions which is what makes this story shine and be memorable.
Yeah, honestly, if you don't like the characters, you're just not gonna like these games. Like,
Yeah,
no matter
just
how
don't-
much
just don't
fun
play
you
the
think
game.
they are.
Yeah.
Because it's a character-driven story. Most RPGs are.
True, but I've played some really good RPGs where the characters were just horrible, but it was just fun to play.
Yeah. And also, I think the big thing about Kingdom Hearts is do not play it with a CinemaSins mindset.
No, please don't do. I mean, I'd say don't do anything with a CinemaSins mindset.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know the specific type of, like, RPG
No, I know.
fan I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the ones who are like, oh, it's a plot hole that you could see this character after this plot point in this game, and it's like, maybe shut up.
Or, oh, they haven't explained this thing yet. Ding. Like, yeah, they're going to.
Yeah, like, don't come with it
You're-
with the Cinnamon Sins mindset or a Matt Pat mindset.
Yeah.
You will not
if
have
you're
fun.
confused about something that hasn't been explained yet, That's the point.
Yeah, I don't know why I like the first game theory video that I ever watched was the Aerith didn't actually die and Cloud just drowned her on accident one. Like, I don't know why I ever watched another video of his after that.
Yeah.
Like, I
didn't know he made a video like that.
Yeah,
It's one of his
okay.
older ones.
Yeah,
I
it's much older. I will say I do not think that he necessarily like genuinely believes every thing that he like all of the theory and stuff that he does. Like, I don't think he.
Well, now he just straight up steals theories without like I mean in the sense of like he'll take a theory from like a Reddit or like something and then
Yeah.
not credit the person at all.
Yeah, there's one of the few of his that I can remember that I actually kind of liked quite a bit was one about Luigi in like the whole Mr. L thing in Super Paper Mario, where it's like probably less likely that it's like brainwashing and more like hypnotism, which I mean again it could just be brainwashing because you know magical glasses powers and it's Mario, but like it's as far as like headcanons go, I think it's an interesting take at least.
Well,
It's not just like, oh, Mario's a sociopath who hates his brother.
yeah, because it's like the thing is with Mr. Ellis, it's like it's a persona that fits Luigi as a character.
Yeah.
And that's like, yeah, you give him reason to like fight Mario. Mr. L is like the perfect version of that, where it's like,
Yeah.
he still cares for his brother. It's just in this sense, all memory of his brother has been replaced for a mech.
Yeah, and that too, it's also like because like the point that Matt Pat made in that video is that like with like hypnotism, like you like it's not like brainwashing where you are like you know made to believe something else. It's like you are like conditioned to act in a certain way, but like you can't be hypnotized to act in a way that you wouldn't. So this isn't like I'm not saying like oh Luigi's secretly evil, just like maybe there is some little bit of resentment somewhere down there.
Yeah, that's the thing is that's why I think like the main thing is the fact that Mr. L does not remember who Mario is, but has that like lingering resentment.
Yeah.
Because yeah, if Luigi didn't know Mario was his brother, but still had that little bit of resentment from being in Mario's shadow.
Also, we just saw a man die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sora's going to see a lot more death before this series is over.
I like that even one like handles the fact that like the Kuma scene from State of Sora near the end of the game where he's like, kid, I hate that this has to be put on your shoulders. Like this game is like they make sure the games are conscious of the fact that yeah, these kids shouldn't have to be the ones dealing with it.
Yeah.
But now they have to.
Yep, they're not the best choice, they're kind of the only choice.
Yeah, like the whole thing with like as we learned like like the Keyblade was not intended originally for Sora. It's just like, oh whoops, Riku's in the darkness, so I guess this kid will do.
It's like, well, this is the closest physically child. Well.
Well, you have, but also the fact that, like, Sora's the character that's, like, associated with, like, the fact that they make it clear that in Birth by Sleep, the bright light that brings Aqua and Terra to Destiny Islands is Riku's light. Oh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's what makes him like slowly being like I mean his character like being literally the brightest light casting the darkest shadow. It's
Yep. I have a cat in my lap right now. Life is good.
Life is good.
Here, I will. do video in the Discord for you. I don't know if you'd be able to see it, Josh, with how the stream stuff works, but
I
This-
cannot, but I am sending good vibes to you and your kitty anyway.
That's a good cat. It's
Good.
orange.
yes. Or Orange Cats is himbo.
Yeah.
So, when Gordon was playing this
Uh-huh.
a couple weeks ago, he said that these never stop spawning, but I'm pretty sure they do. So, do you mind if I spend however long it takes to prove or disprove that?
Yeah, no, go for it.
I think it's they don't stop spawning until you get to Leon.
Oh, well.
But still,
Is that-
hey, if you want to grind, go for it.
Yeah. Get some money at least.
Yeah. And like, does the game ever tell you that health points let you give you experience?
No, but I think it's pretty clear from game design standpoint that it's the same as the other experience pop-up.
Yeah. Fair. I was just wondering, sounds like... Because I think if I actually played Kingdom Hearts as a kid and not just watched my older brother play it, I think I would understand that, because I would be like, oh, they're listed as two different things.
Well, when I was a kid, this was my first JRPG and my first action game, because I don't think Pokemon counts.
Okay.
I mean,
They stopped. I am correct. But this was my first exposure to like experience points popping up like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I just kind of figured like, oh well, numbers go up and then eventually I gain a level. Sure, I guess.
yeah, I get
Yeah, but
Yes, I wouldn't be able to show her on the webcam because of where she is, but now I have a puppy beneath my desk.
nice. You are blessed of animals.
Alliance. Puppies and kitties alliance. The war is ended.
Yes. So Ferdinand and then Sadie, my dog, they get along pretty well. For the first little while after he got brought home, he was still kind of shy and everything, so she kind of came on strong a little bit. Because she is a cattle dog. So, yep.
Tried to herd the cat, huh?
Yeah, well, I just meant more just her energy. But so, like, she was kind of accidentally sort of, like, backing him up or whatever, and so he, like, lashed out and, like, scratched at her, and so then it kind of reversed to where she was, like, afraid of him. It was really kind of funny to see her, like scampering away, whimpering, and then just, like, have this little kitty trotting behind her.
Oh.
But then they would, like, she'd just be sitting and then kind of, like, sniff at each other. Now they get along pretty well. Like, sometimes they'll, like, cuddle, like, next to each other. They'll, like, play wrestle sometimes.
That's sweet.
Yeah, Pumpkin, our other cat, she does not like him, and I don't think ever will. Like, even after we got him fixed, he still, like, chases after her a lot.
Oh. She never announced her boundaries.
It's also he's a rascal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lovely, he's very wonderful and cuddly and sweet, however, he just likes to get into things. He is a mischievous little man. The blinds on one of the windows in my room are just totally wrecked because of him. He likes to look out the window. He also knocked over my brother's computer monitor and it messed the color up. And so I like went ahead and just ordered him a new one. But then like after that happened, like he was messing, he was undoing it or something, and then it just like fixed itself. So
Oh, was it just like a button got pressed or something?
I don't know. Well, no, it's like we couldn't find anything. It just I don't know what happened.
I can't afford anything.
I think there's also like a specific order you can go through the room to just automatically bring you to the neon encounter.
What you do is,
Who are you?
you do not talk to Sid. You just go fight 5 Heartless, then you talk to Sid.
Ah, okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
for what?
For getting this cutscene faster and not having to go through that other dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to learn some of the speedrun tech so that I can get the speedrun achievement on my PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I think the funniest thing about Birthplace is making it clear, like, yeah, no, there was a bunch of people wielding Sora, Riku and Sora. It's just the fact, like, you can just, oh yeah, let's play the one that kills each one. So like, it makes the Final Fantasy characters knowing about the Keyblade makes sense, but it makes the fact that, oh yeah, they could only do like one Keyblade wielder at a time, it's more confusing.
Yeah. Especially considering there's 3 Keyblades in this game.
Leon?
Alone.
Still, it looks like things are worse
Isn't-
than we thought. A lot worse.
I don't know if I'm remembering this right, but isn't Yuki's design in page 1 like the outfit of like an FF10 character that was scrapped? for
Yeah,
some part?
it's Riku from Final Fantasy X. They changed it because, well, his name is Riku.
Okay.
And they didn't want to confuse the 12-year-olds.
And
then-
then kept the outfit, so they just have to remake more of the model.
Yeah.
And see, but then KH2 came out like 3-ish years later, and they're 15 years old now. They won't be confused anymore, so they included that character anyway.
To
Yep.
be fair, it's like a minor character in Cage too.
Yeah.
These 15-year-olds are so much older and wiser than they were as 12-year-olds.
Like, I get why they didn't do voice acting in these cutscenes that were added for Final Mix, but also I wish they'd at least tried.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if all the characters' voices are deeper because they are now adults, the voice actors, but confusing if you don't know that.
Excuse me. Did the
Kingdom Hearts Aerith, my beloved.
She's wonderful. And she doesn't have to die this time.
Come on, lazy bum. Wake
Fingers
up.
crossed for the FF7 remake trilogy.
The remake makes me mad.
Oh?
Like,
Huh?
Those creatures
the Final Fantasy
FF7
VII,
remake?
yeah.
have a gentle
Like,
behavior.
I really, really like the original story, and I don't mind that they're doing, like, time fuckery and changing it or whatever, but
Uh-huh.
they're going way too heavy on the meta of like, oh, don't trust your memories, things are gonna change.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's Leon.
Yeah.
because I'm also just a sucker for, like, plots that have to do with, like, oh, averting destiny.
I do like that, and I'm sure it'll grow on me as more of them come out, because I'm still gonna play them and I'm still gonna like them. It just makes me mad.
Yeah. Well, because, like, yeah, they definitely overload it with all of it being thrown in at the end, but also it makes sense that it's all thrown in at the end.
Yeah.
I don't
Ferdinand,
think-
you are such a special boy.
Okay.
Boy.
You know there are many other
Because
worlds.
it's like the pacing of the having it all thrown at the end kind of sucks, but also I don't think you could tell the story of the first remake game
Because they
without going it all at the end,
until
because
now.
it's supposed to give you the expectation that, oh, well, maybe one or two things will be changed, but they'll be mostly the same, right?
Yeah, and then the trailers are coming out, and it's like,
Hearts.
what do you mean Zack didn't die?
People's hearts. That's
Where is
Yeah.
he?
And there is darkness.
Oh, what,
He's in Kingdom Hearts. He's in Birth by Sleep at Olympus Coliseum.
Have you
Yeah, and then
Wait,
he's
did
never
they-
seen again.
You can already tease that for the first game before it came out.
he was stabbed?
No, they've been teasing that in like all the trailers that have come out since though. Like,
Me? Gongaga.
Its pages are scattered
Like,
everywhere.
yeah, because from what I understand about like KH3's history of development, I
Yes.
I started playing development for it pretty early, but I didn't watch all of the trailers, so it was like I didn't know that. Oh yeah, a bunch of stuff for the game is actively spoiled in the trailers, and
Yeah.
so that had pacing issues exclusive for if you watched all of the trailers that spoiled stuff in the game.
Heartless have
yeah, I try not to watch trailers for Square Enix games because they're notoriously bad at that. But also, Zack is my favorite Final Fantasy character, so.
so
Like the fact that they managed to like,
I remember being in my room.
I think that was the funniest thing is with the Neo
Wait a minute.
Tui
We're on
trailers.
my home. My
Is
island.
because of how Square Enix trailers, everyone thought, oh wow, they're like spoiling major stuff in like the first couple trailers. And then you play the game and you're like, oh, they didn't tell us shit in those trailers.
I haven't actually played that game yet.
Oh, you should. Neo Tui is so good.
I want to play both the first one and Neo.
I absolutely recommend playing the first one, at least.
Yeah.
Like, it's very good.
Alright, I am gonna head out, so have a fun rest of the stream. Enjoy King Hearts 1.
Thank you for hanging out.
Yep, no problem. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sora, let's go.
Like the Neo Tui trailers teased something that ended up that like looked like a major thing, and then it was just something that they like teased at the start of the game.
That's very funny. Ah, shit, I forgot to equip the ability I got from... Oh well.
Neo Tui also has the greatest character ever created, Shoko Sakurano. I'm bad at pronouncing names, but
That's fine, I don't know who you're talking about, so...
he's great. He's a mean cat girl.
I love cat girls. I love mean girls.
She also really likes the clothing brand that he started.
Oh, I died.
Sora is dead.
Sora is dead. And I'm gonna adjust the volume a little bit. For some reason... No! All the way back here?
And they'll keep on coming at you.
No.
2002 game.
Oh.
But why? Why would it choose a kid like you?
Hey,
But I saved. Wait, didn't this happen to Wayne also?
Probably.
Hold still so I can punch you in the face.
You can lose this. Not have consequences.
But if I win, I get prizes.
Yeah. Which will be prizes for time sake.
Prizes. Hey, I win!
I can lose.
now
Now, while that's happening, I have to adjust volume on you, because for some reason, when she left, you got a lot quieter.
Oh, I may have just been quieter because I had I was resting my blanket against my cheek, so my
Ah,
microphone was on the opposite side.
I see. And now you're loud.
Yep, because my microphone stand is connected to the side of my bed.
Ah, it's not letting me skip this scene. You must
Should I?
watch Riku wake up.
I, it,
There it goes.
yeah, I was just saying you just gotta pause.
Yeah, it wasn't letting me.
I, I, the fact that they added keyboard and mouse controls to this game,
Yeah.
like I tried playing Kingdom Hearts 3 with keyboard and mouse controls just to see what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get better camera control, but it's a nightmare.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Because it does the fun control of the same button, like the most comfortable control scheme happens to have it where the same button you're using to attack is on the mouse, the thing you're controlling your camera with, which doesn't work well for a third-person action game.
No, it really doesn't. Yeah, I didn't even try to use the keyboard and mouse. I just immediately plugged in a controller.
I mean, like, it pretty much only feels good when you're doing something that requires precise aiming, which only happens, like, which you pretty much only need for stuff like, what's the word I'm looking for? I having, like, memory stuff is fun, because it's like, oh yeah, my brain is full of Kingdom Hearts knowledge. I may not I suck at remembering it, though. Or
Yeah,
at least I suck at remembering it in a way that I can put to words.
yeah, my brain is so full of information. None of it is what I need right now.
What's it called? The lock shot. Or shot lock. Shot lock, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Uh, that's not in this game.
Yeah, no, I know, but I was saying in KH3, the only thing using a mouse really helps you with is with shot lock.
Ah, yeah, I can imagine that would help a bit.
But the thing about Kingdom Hearts 3 is you do the shot lock by holding down the lock-on button, which easy to match to right-click by default.
Uh, are you
You wanna
kidding?
know it's mapped to right-click by default?
What?
Garden.
I guess.
You know, you think, oh, you use one of the mouse buttons to lock on because you use the mouse to move the camera.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense.
The camera you use to shot lock. Like, it's also just I playing 3D games that aren't first person with laws never feels right.
No. It feels kind of like cheap tank controls, but worse.
Yeah. I mean, tank controls feel nicer on WAS because those are only designed since those are designed with primarily 4 inputs in mind.
Yeah.
But it's like any game that's designed to use like a full joystick does not feel right with only like a D-pad or with WAS.
Yeah.
So,
Which, God, I'm so glad that with Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, you can get the secret movie just by playing Remind.
Oh, that's so
Like,
nice.
like the base page 3 uh, secret movie. So you could play page 3 on full difficulty, or on same difficulty, and then just play Remind to get the secret movie.
Very useful for people who are not good at video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't touched the Remind DLC at all. It won't even let you buy it if you haven't beaten the game on PS4.
Really?
At least it wouldn't let me access the store. That might just be because I do not have a PS Plus.
Okay. Like, I think the PC ports are way too overpriced, but at least they include Remind with H3 at its base price.
Yeah. Uh, Definitely not gonna buy that if it's not on sale.
Like the fact that you can get the all-in-one collection on PS4, which has both of the collections and PH3, for usually like $20 when it goes on sale, which is often.
Yeah.
And that's a
I
physical copy.
I wish I had known they were going to be coming out with that when I bought all of them on PS4. Because I got 2.8 and 1.5, 2.5 like a couple days before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out.
Like, I always forget that Kingdom Hearts 3 and Monster Hunter World came out the same year, because like I was both excited for both of those, and so they were in the same brain space. But now, like a couple years later, they like feel separate despite coming out within months of each other.
Yeah. Like, they don't feel like they came out in the same year, even, let alone, like, within. Like, didn't they come out, like, a couple months apart?
Yeah, well, because Kingdom Hearts 1 was, or Kingdom Hearts 3 was like January.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
No?
Monster Hunter World came out first.
I could have sworn it came out after.
I thought it came out in 2019, not... Apparently World came out in 2018.
Oh.
Sworn it was 2019. I guess it was just because they were... well, they both came out in January of their respective years.
Okay, so they did come out, like, a year apart.
Yeah. I guess it's just because they were sharing the same brain space when I was excited for them.
That's fair.
I thought they came out the same year.
Yeah, like, I never played Monster Hunter, but I also thought they came out the same time. Because they feel like they're games that should have come out, like, a couple months apart.
Yeah. Either that or it was PH3 was originally going to... Yeah, PH3 was originally going to come out in 2018 and then it got delayed again. I don't know. I think even after it, like, got pushed to, like, PS4 and like switched to Unreal, it still got delayed like I think like once or twice.
It got delayed so many times, I couldn't even tell you.
Well, the main thing is Square Enix quickly discovered that, oh, the Luminous engine isn't very good.
It really isn't. Like, it
Final
looks
Fantasy
fine,
yeah,
but...
like Final Fantasy 15 is the only game to come out on the Luminous engine, and I'm surprised it did.
Yeah, like visually it's not that bad, but everything else is really bad about it.
Well, because it was designed for PS3,
Mm-hmm.
and then it took too long to develop for, because they were developing games at the same time they were developing the engine.
Yeah. Donald gives Sora a complex.
To be fair, it works in the context of when they first introduced it.
Yeah. And like it does make sense, but
Like,
also
yeah, they're trying to get this kid to cheer up.
mm-hmm.
I'm Sora.
It is
But
a
it
good
did definitely reinforce some thought patterns that were already going on with Sora by the time of PH1.
yeah, Sora's like, I am the happy one. And then
I'm
Donald's
the
like, you have to smile. And it's like, okay. But then, like, months later, he's like, I can't be upset. I have to be happy. Oh no.
I have to be the happy one who's always sacrificing himself for his friends.
Yeah.
Man, characters that, like, once you set up that a character is, like, self-sacrificial for the sake of others, man, like, the fact that they're very much setting up Sora's arc is... There's also why I get frustrated when people are talking about, like the cutscene where Sora interacts with Vanitas in the battlefield of KH3.
I don't have any context for that one. I haven't seen it.
So pretty much Vanitas, and Sora and Ventus are all talking, like, after they fought, and it's pretty much like Vanitas is, where pretty much they're like, hey, you should get a choice. You don't have to just be the darkness, or like, why are you fighting against us? You could be on our side. Very much, the character, which they kind of intentionally write it as, oh, these characters are very much having a misunderstanding about what each other feels, because they write the scene as, yeah, Ventus is kind of tired of Vanitas' shit at this point. Like, he's ready, like, Ventus is ready to accept that, okay, yeah, Vanitas is just darkness. And Vanitas is ready to accept that he's just darkness, and that there's nothing more to him. When Sora's like, there's a line where Ventus is like, what you are is darkness, and Vanitas is just like, what I am is darkness. And Sora straight up, like, gets almost mad at him. He's like, Vanitas, come on. Like, pretty much like, hey, you can be more than darkness. I've seen it happen. But people take such, like, a bad faith reading of that scene to be as if Sora is just anti-darkness.
Yeah, he's just trying to say that Vanitas can be his own person. He doesn't have to be.
Point is referring to him as his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, when you actually look at how Vanitas' role in the story, all Vanitas has been is Xehanort's pawn. And when you read the character files, where Vanitas is literally surprised to be alive again, and is almost disappointed by it. It's like, aw, kid.
Oh, this poor kid.
When they, like, in KH3, they also set up that, hey, if you're a being of pure darkness, you can't wield a Keyblade. Meaning, hey, Vanitas isn't a being of pure darkness. Because they literally set up that, yeah, the reason Ansem can't use his Keyblade is because he became heartless.
Yeah, I'm glad they at least explained that. It's like, yeah, by the way, this guy who had a Keyblade the entire time, there's a reason he didn't use it. Don't worry about it.
Because, like, they also, like, actually play into the, yeah, like, they do a lot with Zemus and Ansem in KH3, and it's really good.
Yeah, they take these really flat two-dimensional characters and really flesh them out.
Like, KH3, and, like, both Dream Drop Distance and KH3 make it very clear that, yes, while these people may have been once Xehanort, they are no longer Xehanort.
Nope, they
are
kind
their
of
own people now.
grew into their own people.
Who Xehanort does not have full control of.
Xehanort has never had control over anything a day in his life.
He thinks he had control of Vanitas. He did not. He thought he had control of Terra. He did not. He thought he had control of the entire world and that he was some chosen one who needed to protect the world by, destroying it. He was not.
Yeah.
Like, they do a good job. Like, Kingdom Hearts does really, like, especially once Nomura started expanding on, like, Xehanort's actual, like, intentions and backstory, he did a really good job in making it clear, yes, this character has reasons for doing this. No, they are not going to be any reasons that make it give them any credibility.
Yeah, like, he had reasons. He thinks they're good reasons. He's not correct.
In, like, his final moments, like, and people act like, so, Kingdom Hearts, like, the fight with Xehanort at Cage 3 ends with Xehanort admitting defeat and going off to the afterlife with Ericus, the one person who, after all this time, still considered him a friend.
Yeah.
And people took that to mean, oh, Xehanort's redeemed game sucks.
He's not redeemed. He lost.
He lost. He's still explicitly dying after his fight with Sora. He just got to have a moment to actually admit defeat and let Sora fix his mistake.
Yeah, a lot of people don't seem to understand what a redemption actually is anymore, which is weird
It's not
considering.
even like he sacrifices himself when he dies. No, he still dies from the fight. It's just he realized, oh shit, I shouldn't do this.
It's like, I have made a mistake, perhaps.
Hey, kid who beat me, please fix it for me.
It's like, hey, yeah, I know I was just trying to use you to end the world, but can you undo all that?
Like, but also, man, like, the thing of, they sure are very much setting up that Sora and Riku are the ones who will wield the actual Keyblade, with an X.
Yeah, the Gay Blade kind of proves that.
Yeah, and then you straight up have KH3 having Xehanort literally passing on the Keyblade to Sora.
Mm-hmm. Like, it couldn't get more obvious if they just slapped a huge sticker on it that said, "Here is our plan for the future."
And then the fact that they set up as early as Chain of Memories of the significance of the crown necklace.
Yeah.
And that, oh, it was Riku's good luck charm before it was Sora's.
Mm-hmm. Because
Uh,
Naminé can't create memories out of thin air. She says that. But a lot of people miss that piece of the subtext there.
yeah, because Replica doesn't have Sora's memories, he has Riku's. Riku was not there for Sora, for Kairi giving Sora the her good luck charm. Which, of course, that would be the memory that would be easier to work with because it would be brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact that, as far as we know, there's only like a week between the end of page, like a couple weeks before the end of page 1 in Chain of Memories is, oh no.
Yeah. Okay, I
But also
forget.
the fact that that time period is the only time period in Kingdom Hearts to have a set timeline for.
Yeah, like we know exactly when Roxas is created. We know exactly when Sora goes to.
And by definition, we also know exactly when Nagane is created based on when Roxas was.
Yep. And we know
Also
when
means,
that all ends. And
but then that
that's.
also means, oh, Naminé had only existed for a few weeks before Chain of Memories.
Yeah. She didn't have a very good time of it either.
I also like that Chain of Memories is a story about kids helping each other in a very, very bad situation.
Yeah. Like,
Chain of Memories is such a good example of the kind of story Kingdom Hearts is trying to tell.
yeah, it's too bad the combat is, like, really hard to get into.
Yeah.
Like, when I finish this game, I'm probably going to be looking for a mod that will let me not have to do the combat.
Unfortunately, there is not one.
No! I'll just
There
have to
is a
suffer.
mod where someone tried to put Chain of Memories combat into Kingdom Hearts 3, though.
Why would you do this? Why would you want to do this?
To be fair, they didn't get it working with the full game. They just had it working in like a specific room.
Oh.
But they did port it.
Well, I'm glad they're having fun.
As far as I know, that project is probably dead.
Yeah.
But I have been keeping an eye on the multiplayer mod for KH3 though, and that looks good.
That is gonna be so much fun if they can get it working properly.
I mean, they've got like the basics of it working. The main thing they're trying to do right now is get it working in cutscenes and get it working with new characters. Like, they're actively trying to put more playable characters into Kingdom Hearts 3.
Good. Let me play as Cloud Strife. That would be very funny to me.
I also kind of agree with the point going forward of Final Fantasy characters aren't going to be as big of a focus or like as like main characters anymore, you know?
Yeah. It was kind of surprising that they were ever main characters.
Yeah. Because they don't really I don't think they really work past 1 and 2.
Yeah, they don't really do much. Like, even in 1 and 2, it really only makes sense that they're, like, B-plot main characters.
Well, they make sense in 2 because the context of, oh, they were in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
And oh, here's some of the Final Fantasy characters you didn't get to see. But like, And like, it's obvious when they say Final Fantasy characters, people mean the 7 and 8. Well, I guess it's just 7 and Leon, but
Yeah. I mean, it'd be
I
nice
don't
if
think
we could see like Renoa or any characters that aren't from 7 and 8.
I want them to put Barrett in Kingdom Hearts.
I would love to see Barrett in Kingdom
Like,
Hearts.
the two characters I want to see in Kingdom Hearts are Barrett and Lightning.
Yes. Like, I'd like to see Final Fantasy 6 characters other than Setzer because I hate Setzer. He's literally the worst one they could have picked.
Which, oh yeah, I'm just realizing, they never put Barrett in Dissidia, which is a shame.
That is a shame. Like, yeah, he fights with a gun, so it might not be that interesting, but
The thing is, Lightning also fights with a gun. Squall fights with a gun.
he fights with a sword gun.
They also have characters that are primarily like magic projectile focused.
Yeah, that's true. I only ever played the first Dissidia game, so
They have Shantoto in Dissidia.
I don't know anything about Shantoto.
She's one of the FF11 Lalafels.
Yeah.
But it's also really fun to watch this like old lady Lalafell is a fun old lady Lalafell wizard is a fun combination to have your bunch your like FF7 protagonists.
Yeah.
I fought a bunch of monsters.
Or like any of the more serious Final Fantasy protagonists. Which more serious in quote.
Yeah, quote unquote serious.
But they also made it so Onion Knight has a crush on Y'shtola.
That's weird.
Yeah. But also, Onion Knight's voiced by Joshua Tui's voice actor.
I did know that. Like, I recognized him when I played Dissidia. It's like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You play a twink.
Yeah. Also, Y'shtola's really fun in NT, where she's just like it's the kind of character where she's not like she's taking it seriously, but she's having a fun time just being in this new world.
Yeah.
And then Noctis gets paired with Warrior of Light and Cecil. Which is fun. You have the Final Fantasy protagonists that are in just full armor, and then you have Noctis.
And then you have the boy band member.
But like they do good with this character though. Like NT does a really good job of fleshing out the character combinations because they have it where everyone like splits up into a group, but they let the characters like actually like work as a group, have an interesting dynamic.
Oh, that's good. Because I know in the original Dissidia, they didn't really do much of that. It was mostly just like, oh, and now Jet is arguing with Kefka or something.
Well, they even let them like actually have to fight alongside with the villain, the main attack, because hey, this main antagonist is a dragon that's trying to destroy everything.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
Was the original like the city of goddesses like named Gaia, or was it
It was Cosmos.
Cosmos? The gods in NT are specifically the descendants of Cosmos.
Oh, God damn it.
Even the one even like the villain one.
Oh, yeah, because Chaos got his shit wrecked.
Yeah. Like both of them are like, oh yeah, they're fighting, but they're not. But they're not fighting over the fate of the world. Well, they're fighting because this is now a world that needs energy from combat to run. It's effectively like a forever arena world where Final Fantasy protagonists have to fight.
Yeah, it's no longer Cosmos and Chaos fighting. It's just everyone fighting because you gotta.
But they also set up that, this is a world that's actually becoming its own, and one day there will be people who won't have to fight in this place. There will just be normal people. That's like a really cool setup for this world, where it's like you're seeing this world in what would effectively be its creation myth.
Yeah. I like
Its
that.
creation myth just happens to be a bunch of Final Fantasy characters fighting each other.
Yeah.
But like they also play a lot with like the specific dynamics of the villains, the final, and like the heroes that have specific like close ties to the villains.
Nice.
Like they set up where it's like, yeah, Titus refuses to fight his dad, and his dad refuses to fight him. It's like they won't actually they actually help each other when, hey, there's villains that are bigger threats. And then, like, they make it clear that, yeah, the villains that don't want world destruction are very much have a different idea of what they should be fighting for.
Yeah.
And the villains that are trying to actively destroy this place.
Yeah.
You know, Kefka and Sephiroth.
They both very much want to destroy the world for no reason.
Well, Kefka wants to do it because it'd be fun.
Yeah. That's very Kefka. I do quite enjoy him as a villain.
But, like, they also, like, one of the main things with NT is they also bring in the summons as, like, actual, like, creatures that exist in this place that they have to, like, make friends with, or at least ally with.
Nice.
Like, they bring in fucking Alexander as a summon in NT.
Damn. Yeah, I own NT. I just haven't gotten around to playing it.
Yeah, I watched, like, a cutscene collection of it.
Nice.
They also do it a lot where, like, one of the main things is, yeah, they actually get to see their worlds this time in the form of, like, places that are generated by memory.
Oh. That's where they got that part of Stranger of Paradise then.
They even have it where, like, yeah, some of the characters get to show each other, hey, this is where I'm from, this is the world I'm, like, fighting to go back to.
That's nice. I guess I'm adding the Dissidia games to my list.
Well, because I think, as far as I remember, NT doesn't have, like, an actual, like, open world like 012 does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's stretched, as far as I remember from, like, looking stuff up online about it, it's closer to, like, the first Dissidia game story mode.
Well, that's cool, because the first Dissidia's story mode was very much felt like it was a second thought to anything else going on.
It was just more of, like, your traditional, like, fighting game story mode, where it's, like,
And now go fight this guy for reasons. Don't worry about it.
But also, they do so much better with Lightning's character in NT.
Well, that's good.
She unfortunately gets, like, a lot of, quote-unquote edgy Final Fantasy protagonists the treatment where they only give them characterization from the opening of the game.
Ugh.
You know, before they go through their arc.
Yeah, Cloud is like the opposite of that. They only give him the edgy sad boy mid-disc 2 character, where like the rest of the game he's actually pretty happy-go-lucky and cheerful.
Well, it's like, Lightning is a complicated character, where she's like, yeah, she's the Final Fantasy soldier archetype, but also, oh, she lives in a world where she actually has reasons to be mad and upset about things. And also, she realizes, oh crap, I should actually, like, open up more about people and be more open about their thoughts and ideas and the fact that in their feelings.
Yeah, perhaps I should care that other people have feelings.
Like they specifically don't give you the scene where she's mad at, they start giving you more scenes of her, like, being kind of a bad person. In the times where you're starting to get to her actually doing better. Like one of the scenes you get is, she finds out, how much, do you know about the whole, Lissy stuff with, Final Fantasy 13?
The grand total of my knowledge on Final Fantasy 13 is the gameplay, not a lot of people like it.
It's good. Like, the gameplay's fine. It's pretty much, it's turn-based, but you can, add up multiple moves in a single turn.
And
it's just, it looks like it'll be not turn-based, but it is.
Yeah, that's really all I know. I don't know anything about 13.
So one of the things with 13 is there's these things called the Fal'Cie, which are these giant, effectively god power things.
Mm-hmm.
And they to enthrall people and tell them, okay, I'll give you the special focus you have to complete, or you either become a zombie or turn into crystal. And the legends say you'll live forever, but you're still turning into a crystal for however long.
Yeah. Sure, you live forever, but what kind of life is being a crystal?
And so, Lightning, on the same day as her birthday, finds out her younger sister is both a Lissy, been enthralled, which, she's a soldier. Her job is literally to fight Lissy. Because Lissy also get magical powers. And also, she found out, yeah, your sister got from, your sister is now engaged to a person you don't really like. The same, and then you find out, oh, he proposed to her right after, pretty much right after he found out she was a Lissy. And also, she's got a hero shtick, which Lightning doesn't like. It's like, man, all of that on her.
Oof.
Literally, she has a life where she's like, man, worst birthday ever. So, you then find out very quickly, yeah, no, she was also willing to pretty much quit being a soldier to fight for her sister. Literally, quit being a soldier so that way they would let her on. They're doing this fun thing called the Purge, where this town that had a Fal'Cie show up in, and yeah, everyone's pretty much being sent to their death.
This sounds like a really interesting story.
Yeah, 13's really good. But oh no, it's linear. Oh no. Oh,
So
linear
was 10, and
RPG?
10's really good.
No, but it's not open world.
Ugh. I hate
It's
how
Final Hallway.
obsessed
It's
some
Final
people are.
Hallway 13.
That is so unfair.
I like linear games. I might be a controversial opinion, but I don't like
It
open
works
worlds.
really good for R. It works really good for RPGs, especially turn-based ones, because plus it's also a game that switches between multiple characters' perspectives a lot, meaning it would be actively worse pacing if it was an open world game.
Hmm. Like, even if you make it like semi-open world, people will complain. Like, oh, here's a set piece. You can do whatever you want in whatever order inside the set piece, but it's linear from this one to the next one.
Yeah.
But I think that's like a really good game design.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
We know who the real culprit is.
Like, you literally wouldn't realize that the areas are more straightforward if it didn't have a map that told you it was. Which, you know, a map doesn't include the actual design of the area. Like, imagine if you complained about Kingdom Hearts 2 based solely on how the areas look on the mini map.
That'd be dumb. But I am going to complain about Agrippa based solely on the mini map. You know.
Oh yeah, no, I just mean this as, like, oh, this isn't like a huge open world.
Yeah. Man, these people have been sold Skyrim too many times. They need to stop caring about open worlds.
It's also, wow, this is one of the few Final Fantasy games that has female protagonists.
Yeah. Like, literally, the only thing I'd even heard about it is that the gameplay is not as fun as some of the other ones. Like,
Actually, it's pretty fun. Like, it has enough strategy, but also it has an auto battle system, so that way if you don't want to be pressing the same, like selecting this, because again, you like the way it works is it's an ATB system, but you can actually like set up multiple attacks in advance. And it does like, you know how Chrono Trigger is like turn-based, but your like characters are on like a physical space, right?
yeah.
That's how FF13 is.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, pretty much imagine Chrono Trigger, but you can load up multiple attacks.
Man, people really misled me on this game.
And, like, it has a really interesting, like, is it okay if I plug a streamer who has been playing Final Fantasy 13?
Please plug all the streamers. I love hearing
Dollar.
about new streamers.
The way Doll Days has been playing Final Fantasy 13 and has been having fun with it.
Yeah, definitely send me like a link to their VOD channel or something.
Actually, I don't think the FF13 mods are up on the channel yet, but they should still be live on Twitch.
Okay.
Oh, they should still be up on Twitch. Sorry. You just may have to search a little bit for like the first few parts.
Well, that's fine.
You know, like I've been interested about Final Fantasy with 13 for a bit, and I started watching a cutscene collection, or like pretty much not a cutscene collection, but like a no commentary walkthrough, and I have learned something about long JRPGs. Sometimes they are, sometimes it's easier to watch someone react to them than it is to have no commentary.
Yeah. Like, I would not enjoy literally any Final Fantasy as a no commentary walkthrough, I don't think.
What's interesting about 13 is it's also a trilogy.
Yes. It was almost 4, but then they said, hey, no, stop. Noctis does not have to be involved in 13.
Oh no, Versus 13 was never going to be part of Quadrol. It wasn't. Uh, Versus 13 was going to be like they were doing something like that specific like I don't know what to call it like it wasn't going to be part of the 13 story, but it was going to be in like I don't know how to explain it. It's weird. Final Fantasy Type 0 is also part of that.
Ah.
Yeah. Because it was pretty much set up to be like an anthology of Final Fantasy games, kind of based on 13's themes, not its actual like world.
Okay. I understand now.
That's why there's a crystal motif in 15 as well.
Well, there's also been crystal motifs since 1.
I know, but I mean, why they go extra hard on it?
Makes sense.
And also like the sort of, oh, is this world like a dream or story that's being told or something, which Hanamura sure liked that idea, huh?
He really, really likes the what if it was just a dream type stories.
Well, it's not even really like what if it was just a dream, it's what if this was just a dream, but also we're gonna expand on the person who is having that dream. Or what if this was a story, but it was a story in both worlds?
Yeah. I can understand why he likes that theme so much. It's a good theme. It's very
It's like
fun to think about.
it's like it's a more meta way of saying it's a simulation.
Yeah.
Which Kingdom Hearts, I don't literally think it's a simulation, but it's effectively a simulation, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's very much how many levels deep of this is a story can we get before it stops making sense?
I mean, that's kind of what, which is like, which again, is what, like, they make it clear, oh, on this side they think Quadratum is fiction, but they're very obviously gonna make it clear that, oh, on Quadratum, the Kingdom Hearts side is fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides are fictional worlds to each other. Both exist in each other as a piece of fiction. But both are very real worlds.
Yeah. Which started with like the entire premise of being able to go to Winnie the Pooh as a storybook.
Which they then expand upon in Recoded.
Of all things, yeah.
That a simulation, like pretty much Recoded is just their way of saying, hey, wow, a simulation of a story is effectively the same as a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Recoded's a simulation of Kingdom Hearts 1. It functions almost identical to Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah, except for the parts where it broke.
Yeah, which they then expand on in Union Cross.
Yep.
With the main caveat being, which they make it, which both Union Cross and True Talk Distance making it clear, hey, data doesn't sleep. If a data world is gone, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes me even more curious about what the black box is, or what's in it.
I have a theory on what's in the black box. I think it's the Master of Masters' body.
Hmm. But we
God damn it, 1 in 5 chances.
then there's also the fact that the Master of Masters is in Quadratum, and it's
Yeah, like,
uh,
it's not a very, well
like
thought out theory on my part, I will admit, but
one theory I've kind of heard is, oh, it's a literal black box for Data Daybreak canon. But then I'm also like, but we're shown that not everyone who was in Data Daybreak Down became tree meters, and so then it's. But the only thing that would be left in Data Daybreak Town is the darkness that was trapped in there.
mm-hmm.
Also, the darkness that was in Daybreak Down was technically also trapped in Wreck-It Ralph, so I don't know. Or like, specifically, the iPhone cord that connected Union Cross to Game Central Station.
Yeah.
Someone's iPhone's full of darkness now. Oh no.
Someone's iPhone is a little bit extra haunted.
I guess I like that that's what's implied by the Wreck-It Ralph world in Union Cross.
I do too. Like,
That it's not like it's not the real world, it's the Wreck-It Ralph world. But the way it's connected to the Wreck-It Ralph world, because Union Cross is a video game. And because they're in a data world, in a video game, they're able to connect to Game Central Station through literal glitches in reality.
mm-hmm.
Which is, oh, such an interesting, like...
It's very, very meta, and definitely what got Square Enix thinking, oh, but what if we make everything meta for
Thing is, I
FF7
feel like
Remake?
Nomura
But
thing is, I feel like Nomura was already wanting to make it meta. Like, they set that up still, like, pretty early in Union Cross, but, like, even just, like... Because you very quickly find out, oh, because the way Union Cross is set up, is it supposed, like, a lot of the context of Union Cross is lost by the theater mode,
mm-hmm.
because part of the context of Union Cross is you're playing it from, like, you're playing the story from the beginning, but after key has already happened. Because
Yeah.
your character is in a simulation, and pretty much all of the Dandelions, except the new Union leaders, had their memories wiped of the Keyblade War. The only one who remembers the Keyblade War, besides the Union leaders, is the Shirafis, who are specifically holding the memories on for their wielders, which is how you play through the key finale.
There's a lot going on just from Union Cross.
Yeah. I mean, there's the fact that Subject X is stalled.
I don't know anything about what that sentence means.
Okay, so you know how Syx and Axel and then Ansem like Ansem Seeker of Darkness to like Ansem the Wise talked about, oh, you know, we were trying to find a person but then you like stopped looking. Or oh, we joined the organization for this person.
Mm-hmm.
So, inside the basement of the castle, the Subject X, a person who described as having a long dark hair, who could not remember a girl with long dark hair who could not remember her name,
Mm-hmm.
and had no memory, and who one day just disappeared. who answers the why seems to have something to do with that disappearance, or at least implied to be. Then you find out, oh, it was Zigbar who did it, but
Yeah.
there was a big debate of before like the detail that oh they had dark hair was oh is this Scold or Strelexia? Well, now we know it's Scold
Yep.
because the main thing with the end of Union Cross is is the like the art isn't functioning properly by the time everyone's using it. It straight up doesn't work for Ephemer, and because Scold wasn't really part of the Book of Prophecies, she doesn't have her memories when she like doesn't become part of anything, and so she has no memories, not even her name. So it's just, which then makes, hey, it's heavily implied that Terranort had players' memories because of Xehanort.
Oh
And
boy.
it would have in some way recognized Scold.
And
And,
some sort of bullshit would happen with the everything else going on there.
and we know Anthem Seeker of Darkness in page 3 is still looking for her along with Syx and Axel. Which that's the other thing. Before they worked at the castle, Axel and Syx would sneak in to talk to her. Which makes so much of just
So she is the source of so much of this then.
yeah.
Like
And then you throw Ventus into the mix of, hey, so if Ventus gets his memories back, is he gonna remember being possessed to kill Strelitzia?
he's not gonna have a very good day.
Because, sure, it's good that he gets Charity back, but also, like, the fact that it's also implied that during the time while he was asleep, he was dreaming of Union Cross along with what Zora was experiencing.
Oh, big boys. Big boys spotted.
Big boys. I mean, the normal sized boys, you're just very small.
Yes. Boys who are normal sized except for relatively.
I am realizing that that Ventus's story in Cinderella is pretty much how Wonderland is in this game.
Yeah, a little bit.
I really like that all of the worlds in the Birth by Sleep are like of characters that we didn't get to see their worlds. Except for Neverland, but I mean that also kind of works. We didn't get to actually see Neverland in page 1.
Yeah.
But like they're all characters.
Yeah, they're all characters that were like alluded to but not ever actually like interacted with outside of like one line of dialogue at the very end of this game.
Yeah, and then you have Stitch, who only shows up as a summon. Or we get to see what Disney Town looked like in the past, but we don't get to ever, for Birth by Sleep, we didn't get to see what Disney Town looked like aside from the castle.
Yeah.
Which then there's also just, so is Timeless River actually time travel, or...
It doesn't fit with any of the other time travel laws that have been established, is the problem.
Especially since the portal that opens is from Hollow Bat, or Radiant Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the door Pete uses isn't the door that gets opened in Disney Castle. His door gets opened from Hollow Bastion.
Yeah. Like, he was at Villain's Grotto or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Which, I like the fact that they pseudo retcon that, oh yeah, the Maleficent's castle wasn't the real castle. I just but I mean,
Mm.
actually, I guess thinking about it, it kind of works in the sense that when you get the reveal that, oh right, Radiant Garden used to be Scala Pylum, which used to be Daybreak Town.
That place has been like 8 different names at this point.
Which it's implied because of the machine in the basement that, oh, the castle Maleficent using is the Radiant Garden version of the clock tower. Ansem's castle was a separate castle.
Yeah. There's a lot going on just with that one building.
Yeah. Which also makes it interesting that, oh, Kyrie and her grandmother lived in what used to be the Daybreak Town clock tower.
Yeah, and Kyrie and her grandma would tell her stories about the old times, when it was the era of
Specifically
fairy
about Daybreak
tales.
Town. Which, like, okay, they at least make it make more sense with, okay, it used to be Skull at Hylam, because, yeah, that was the place that had a record that at least told the same story, which also is fun, that from the time Xehanort was a child to the time Kyrie was, they were still telling the same, like, fairy tales of, like, of that era.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you know, it went a bit from, yeah, here's the straight up history as we know it, to fairy tale.
Yeah, it went from definitely fact to maybe fact to this didn't happen.
And, but that's the interesting thing is, even when it was, like, history in Scala, it still wasn't true.
Yeah.
But also, the fact that they were likely going off of the Book of Prophecies for their history, or at least what Ephemer said, what Ephemer understood was in it.
Yeah, Ephemer, did he ever even get to look at it?
He didn't get it till the very end,
Yeah.
which the fact that it's very much implied that uh, that Ericus is directly related to Ephemer, because he gets Master Defense, or related to Brain in Master Defender just gets passed back to him. We won't really know till Missing Link. Isn't that fun?
Oh, I love video games that aren't over.
Because you know, Yuki Cross gives us so that, oh, Master Defender was originally Brain's Keyblade that he passed on to Ephemer. Along with Brain's Book of Prophecies, which, you know, may or may not have been, you know, Master Defender, oh yeah, he was supposed to give that to Ephemer. The Book of Prophecies, who knows?
It's fine, he doesn't need it.
And then there's the fun reveal that, oh, the Lucio we see at the end of that cover, yep, that's under that hood, that's Brain's body. We don't know why. That was part of the cliffhanger.
Yeah, who knows why? Certainly not us.
It's also the fact that until they show Scold on screen, Scold is going to be the only character without both a 3D model and a voice.
Yeah.
Because we already know Brain's showing up again in Missing Link. Ephemer showed up in that cover, and we know Skalitsia's showing up. And like, I mean, I guess we technically don't know what Morium and Alrina sounded like as kids, but
We do know what they sounded like as adults, so we can infer.
yeah.
Like, it can't be that much differently from Marluxia and Larxene.
Man, they set up that Marluxia and Larxene don't get their memories of reading Cross back till after they get defeated in Cage 3, which is just...
And they're like, wait, holy shit. Oh god.
I finally remembered what my purpose was. It was to find my sister. Oh no.
It's like, I have been neglecting my quest this entire
Which
time.
then also makes Roxas looking like Ventus.
Oh.
And they also just make Braig interacting with Ventus at all.
Yeah, Braig interacting with Ventus, Braig seeing Xion as Ventus.
And then you get the reveal that Braig saw Shigmar was Lucio.
Like, everybody's like, oh, the part that's so complicated is how many boys Sora has in him. No, the part that is complicated is how many people are Lucio.
It's how many times has Lucio possessed someone. We don't even know if Braig is possessed by Lucio at the start of Birth by Sleep or not. It's ambiguous.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a golden eye till he shows up in the final battle.
Yep.
We don't even know if that's actually Birth by Sleep Braig or Zigbar.
Yeah, for all we know, Braig never existed outside of being Lucio.
We don't know. We know at some point he discarded... Well, the thing is, we know he discarded his body. We just don't know when and how soon. We know for a brief period he was probably possessing Brain, but we know Brain isn't Braig. Because Brain is dead by the time. But way before Braig would even be alive.
Mm-hmm. I love these video games.
We know Brain is dead even by the time Xehanort is alive. Which then begs the question of, oh, who did he possess in that fun period? And, oh god, was it Master Odin?
Very possibly is the thing.
Or, oh, during Missing Link, are we gonna find out was he possessing Sigurd after he let Brain go? Because here's the fun thing about Dark Road and Missing Link. Nomura really wanted to use Norse mythology names.
Yeah, I can tell.
Union Cross is a story about Ragnarok. And I am not joking.
No, you're not joking, and I know you're not joking, based mostly just on the names of these characters.
It's literally a story about a war ending the world, and then a new world coming after it that those who survive live in and create.
Mm-hmm.
Which, the thing is, even with Ragnarok, we don't even know if that's how the myth originally went, because Norse mythology got highly Christianized.
Yep.
So we don't even know if Ragnarok was truly supposed to be an apocalypse story.
Yeah, for all we know, it was just supposed to be another funny, oh, Loki, what are you doing story.
Because in the most used translation of Ragnarok, it's literally supposed to be the world that came after Ragnarok is our world, the one with Christian gods now.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's not good, because we had the fun thing of most of the English translations of Norse mythology, or at least the ones that could be translated into English, specifically were written down at a time where, or at least the newer versions of the stories were written down at a time when that area of the world was already heavily Christianized.
Yeah.
I mean, Loki gets straight up turned into Satan in a lot of Christianized Norse myths.
Yeah.
Very much not.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy. He's just kind of an asshole.
Like literally part of the whole thing with Ragnarok, is that it was prophesied to happen long before it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hey, you want to know what happens with the Keyblade War in Unity Cross?
It was kind of prophesized for a while.
And explicitly shown that trying to prevent it just makes it happen anyway.
Yep. Just like,
What's the name of the wolf in Norse myth? I'm trying to remember.
Fenrir.
Fenrir. You know, Fenrir, Loki's son, who was prophesied to be part of Ragnarok, yeah, they locked him up because of it. Guess what Guess what part of the reason Ragnarok happened? Because they locked up Fenrir.
Yep. And, like, wasn't it something like they knew it would be kicked off from Baldur dying, so they made everything promise not to kill Baldur? But they missed mistletoe.
The thing is, Loki doesn't even really kill Baldur.
No, he was just like, oh, funny, silly, goofy time.
What if I made it look like I killed Baldur and started Ragnarok?
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone thought he actually killed Baldur.
Yeah.
Which, hey, you want to know what's the name of the character in Dark Road?
What?
Who's implied to be dead by the end of... Who's implied to die throughout the story? Baldur!
Yeah.
There's a character named Baldur in Dark Road.
Oh, boy.
Which is, hey, we're gonna find out why Xehanort really wants to end the world and create one without light or darkness. Maybe it has to do with everyone he knew besides Eric getting killed in darkness. Which, you know, then highly enforces Ericus's no, darkness is the worst, don't do it. After, you know, he already grew up hearing stories about his grandfather who already died saving Scarlet from darkness.
Yeah. There's no way these people would have been normal. Like...
Yeah. Which is also a frustrating thing about people acting like Harris, like, oh, so stupid because he trusted Xehanort. It's like, first of all, he has no idea Xehanort would be someone who'd be untrustworthy. As far as he would know, oh, this is my master's friend from when they were kids.
Yeah, like, yeah, he acts a little weird, but, like, he probably has reasons for that.
Yeah. My master/father figure trusts him, so he's probably fine.
Yeah. Like...
And even with... Like, it's also like, oh, why should Ericus trust Xehanort if, you know, they had a falling out? Because he trusted that his friend would do better. His friend who they were effectively brothers growing up.
Yeah, it's pretty explicit too, like
they are explicitly the only one from their like age group they have left. The only one from their world they have left.
Yeah, like I don't care how suspicious the only friend I had left was acting, I would still trust them.
It's like, even when Xehanort first starts looking into darkness, it's explicitly after, first of all, after he's already been thrown on, or after he's already been effectively manipulated to do so by the Master of Masters. But also, after literally the scene where you see him decide to go on his dark road, is after he's grieving at a bunch of graves.
Oh. Yeah.
When him and Ericus are finally at the age to go on their Master of Mastery.
Yeah, their Mark of Mastery exam.
Their Mark of Mastery. Which, hey, people joke about, oh man, you know, Yensid gave them such a harder exam. No, Ericus was just going easy on them.
Ericus was like, hey, mine sucked, so go hit some orbs and we'll call it good.
Because, like, explicitly, the group above, because Dark Cloud starts with, oh, we have to find you have to find, like, our upperclassmen who went on their Mark of Mastery and are missing.
Oof.
And then we slowly find out, oh, the Mark of Mastery is effectively a suicide mission.
Yeah, like,
Where you throw a bunch of kids who are just starting to get a hang of it, who are just, probably starting to, like, master the Keyblade, into a bunch of worlds that at this point all that's there is Heartless. And see if they come back alive.
yeah, it's very much, hey, don't die, and if you don't die, you're a master of the Keyblade. If you do die, though, sucks to be you.
Even against Sid, he was giving them an easier test than what probably he would have had to go through. Because that's the other thing. Sid, Ericus, and Xehanort are all around the same age and would have had similar training.
Mm-hmm.
They explicitly realize, oh, this is the like I feel like if Xehanort wasn't trying to destroy the world, I feel like he actually would have been if he didn't have it in his head that he had to be the one to do this, that he had to be the one to summon Kingdom Hearts and create this new world. Which, like, that's the other thing with Xehanort, like, it's even creating a new world, not because, like, oh, it'll be like, it's not even because it's like oh, I want to create a new world in my image kind of thing. It's just like no, he just wants to create a new world.
It's
like this current one.
Yeah, fair, but also, like, I live in the current world.
Yeah, just because you don't want to doesn't mean everybody else doesn't have to. Like, just because you want to destroy the world for some, I don't know, better world without darkness doesn't mean the people who live here have to be sacrificed for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, makes sense when you consider, oh, the person who first put him on this path was the Master of Masters, whose whole plan was that.
Yeah, who has been working towards this for God knows how long.
Because every time, because he explicitly orchestrated this because he knew the only way to destroy darkness is to destroy the world. Not expecting, oh wait, the darkness in the future is going to be very different than the actual sentient darkness that exists right now.
Mm-hmm. Like, this darkness now isn't really sentient, it's just part of how the world works.
Because which then, hey, if the last couple remaining, like literally, we find out his whole plan with the foretellers, and was pretty much have everyone get possessed by darkness and then kill each other. That was the point of the Keyblade War. Something that, hey, which is what I find interesting is the Master of Masters is also a dumb motherfucker who thinks he can control everything.
Yeah. I wish he had a proper name that was shorter than Master of Masters, though.
I mean, but also Mom's a really fun acronym to call him.
Yeah.
World's worst mom. Put that on his mug. But, like, they set up that, hey, Lucio and Ava explicitly aren't going along with his plan at all. The two people who at first put the most trust in him.
Yeah, no. The Master of Masters did not expect his plan to go quite as badly as it did, I don't think.
Which, I think the part that's even worse is the fact that I won't accuse a fictional character of grooming as something like but it's literally canon that he raised the foretellers and literally groomed them to be sacrifices.
Yeah. He found these children and it's like, you know what? I think it would be a good idea if I just made you all die for my plans.
Because defeating the darkness is definitely worth all this.
Mm-hmm.
Defeating the darkness is worth sacrificing hundreds of children. Because, oh well, at least I'm saving some of them. And then even with the plan of the dandelions, like, the plan was to put them in a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh whoops, darkness got into the simulation. Like, even his initial plan with the Keyblade War didn't work.
Nope.
In fact, the Book of Prophecies is explicitly what gets Strelitzia killed.
Which is surprising to no one except for him.
Because the darkness went, oh, there's a Book of Prophecies. I want that. Because who would have thought having a book that has literally everything that will happen in the future might be a bad thing.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to predict literally everything that will ever happen.
Which I think is the interesting thing about where we are in Kingdom Hearts right now,
Hi there.
is we're explicitly at the point where the Book of Prophecies ends.
Yeah, because he hasn't seen the rest, because he went and fucked off.
Well, as far as he knew, the Keyblade War was going to end with darkness winning.
Mm-hmm. But that didn't happen.
Which makes me realize, oh, his plan was for Xehanort to win and summon Kingdom Hearts. Because that's the thing, he didn't even tell. It's like, that's the part that's like, once you realize is the most frustrating about that cover. Well, frustrating in the sense of like from an in-universe frustration, not from like actually frustrated at the story, is
Yeah,
the
like,
whole thing of, oh, even the Book of Prophecy that the foretellers were pretty much basing their lives on at the time, it wasn't even about them.
yeah, they went to war over this book of prophecies, and what came of it? Nothing.
Darkness still survived past that. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, everything it's like the Master of Masters both put everything into motion, but also there are things that happen in Kingdom Hearts that are very clearly not part of his plan. That's cool. I like that. It's from the very beginning has been a story about defying fate, even in Kingdom Hearts 1, where we're told, oh, Riku is the one with the Keyblade. Nope. Riku gets it back. We find out, oh, he was always supposed to be the one to have it. Nope. Sora gets it back. It's
Yeah. Like, the Keyblade changed its mind. This specific Keyblade's like, yeah, Riku's cool, but I like Sora better.
Which I feel like, that's the interesting thing is, Sora's not just, like, the Chosen One stuff works after, didn't really make sense until after 0.2, when they, like, made it explicit that, no, this is specifically the Kingdom Key that chose Sora.
Yes. Like, everybody can have Keyblades, but this is a special one. Just like Mickey's
This is the
Keyblade.
of the Realm of Light.
Yes.
Which, also thinking about that, sure, there was a version of Daybreak Town that ended up in the New World. Well, actually, not even really. It was we see it was just a sea after everything.
Hmm.
Which makes me wonder, hey, was Destiny Islands the first world that was created? Hey,
Oh, what if it
it's the
was?
world that has a direct tie to the realm of darkness.
Sabor, please stop killing me. I'm
Which
trying
side
to.
also makes the fact that, oh, was Xehanort being brought to Destiny Islands, a world with, like, the fact that even Xehanort's path was both predestined, predestined by both him and the Black Prophecies.
Yeah.
It's like there could have been a chance that Xehanort lived his own life in a separate comic. But the explicit fact that he went and used time travel.
Yeah, he kind of screwed himself on that. Like, yeah, it's all about defying fate and all that, but how do you defy a
That's the other
fate
thing
that
about,
you wrote yourself?
that's the thing about when we see young Xehanort in Dream Drop Distance and 3. This isn't young Xehanort after he's gone to Scala. This is young Xehanort right before he leaves Destiny Islands.
Hmm.
Which, hey, it then implied that Xehanort taught himself how to use it. Literally taught himself how to use a Keyblade.
Yeah. And, like, he's not the only one to teach himself how to use a Keyblade, but it's pretty implied that you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah. Like, but then it also makes me wonder is because it's like that's the interesting thing is young Xehanort as he exists in the Keyblade Wars is so interesting because this is the version of Xehanort that had all of the plans set up. A plan that wouldn't have been set into motion until after he had already left.
Hmm.
He literally writes himself into a paradox of his own making.
Kerchak, please listen to me.
That he doesn't even remember being a part of until he comes up with it.
I want to help them.
Yeah. He's like, he. There's so much going on with Xehanort that, like, I feel sorry for him, honestly. Like,
Like
he.
when he's going through a dark corridor to get to Scala, he's literally talking about how he can feel other people's hatred just directed at what he can feel is him, but he has no idea why.
Yeah.
I've never left my island. I have no idea who these people are. Why am I feeling this? Because by the time that happens, he goes back and forgets all of that until he gets himself right back into it.
Hmm.
It's just like it's not like that's the other thing is the time travel in Kingdom Hearts isn't really that confusing if you watch anything that has time travel.
Yeah, it's pretty simple so far as time travel goes. Like, very consistent.
Like this, like it's the most consistent a time loop has been.
Like,
A time travel caused time loop.
mhm. There's other Final Fantasies with much, much worse time travel.
Because the thing about Kingdom Hearts is it doesn't set up alternate timelines. It's not, oh, you, the player, are going back in time to avert something.
These are
the only
stable time loops.
Like, literally, the only time you do that is in Remind, where it's where Sora is explicitly being punished for doing this.
Yeah.
And even then, it's seen as, okay, this is something that already happened. It's not creating an alternate timeline. It's just this happened before the credits.
Yeah. This already happened, we're just playing it out now instead of before.
Because Remind wouldn't make sense if they just tacked all of it onto the end of page 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be, okay, here's how Sora got Kyrie back. He literally had to time travel to do it. And we're shown that, sure, time travel in, like, using something like time travel to fulfill fate, sure, that's allowed. Actively changing who's supposed to live and die, actively changing the story is what gets you banished.
Mm-hmm.
Which
And
then makes me wonder, oh, what did the Master of Master, well, actually, I guess that's kind of obvious. He went forward in time and talked to Xehanort.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that him talking to Xehanort happened after he was already coming up with the plan makes me wonder of how much of the Book of Prophecies is even actually a prophecy.
Yeah, it starts to get confusing when you think about it too much. But if you just go from the angle of like, it's not actually prophecy. He just wrote down things like as they happened for the most part.
Yeah, this is what he sees in the future. This is what he wants to happen in the future. Is kind of what I feel like it is.
Yeah.
Or like, we know we also know he is literally going into the future at this point. It's like we don't know if the seeing eye is a literal thing. We don't know yet because the only time it's ever actually stated is before, is when we're still in the age of fairy tales. Which even came out, even when that was stated, that was before Remind came out, where we literally see a post Dark Road, or like a middle of Dark Road, young Xehanort talking to the Master of Masters.
Yeah.
It's setting him on the path that leads to KH3. Also makes me wonder if we never really get to hear how Sigmar really feels about Xehanort. Which, after the reveal of they're both people who are manipulated by this same person into going on the path they went on, it's just Xehanort's the one who went to a strict adherent to that path.
Yeah. And neither of them really had much say in anything that was going on.
Yeah. All of the none of the at most the foretellers are around Terra and Aqua's age. They are still more in their 20s. They are still pretty young.
Yeah.
They're they frame it as, yeah, the Master of Masters raised them and is also a full-on adult at this point.
Mm-hmm. I'm having a lot of fun talking, but I've been streaming for 3 hours and I kind of have work in the morning, so I gotta.
You did also just get to Deep Jungle.
I also don't want to
3 hours
finish Deep Jungle.
It's a good thing Nominate through this memory in the Shredder.
Yeah, nobody needs these memories. Them losing the copyright to Tarzan is probably the best thing that could have possibly happened.
I mean, it's what led them to directly led to them trying to put Jungle Book in the game, and then never putting Jungle Book in the game.
And then never putting anything to do with the Jungle Book.
Wait, they kept that in the code up until because that's the thing. There's still remnants of Birth by Sleep Jungle Book in Dream Drop Distance because they just either they just didn't remove it from the engine code, or they just tried again and then still couldn't find a reason to put Jungle Book in Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah, because it doesn't fit very well with anything they were doing.
Because it doesn't really work if you just throw Sora and Riku or like the Wayfinder trio in there as humans.
Yeah,
But I don't could put animal transformations on the PSP and 3DS.
yeah. Like, it's pretty obvious that even with just the Lion King, they had to fight to get that. Because,
And that has its own control scheme and everything.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And plus, then they would have to come up with animal designs and different. Well, even with Birth by Sleep, they would then have to find a way to give Ventus, Aqua, and Terra all slightly different play styles, while also keeping in the deck system.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. I wouldn't want to have to program that, and I do not blame them for not doing it.
Yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't hold you up for too long.
Oh, that's all right. I enjoy talking with you, is the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get a lot of times off to just ramble about whatever.
Yeah, one of my favorite things in the entire world is listening to my friends ramble about whatever. So you're always good.
I've got the fun combination of brains full of thoughts, doesn't know how to write them down or type them.
Fair. Right.
It's why I like doing like actual like voice role playing rather than like writing, because it's a lot easier. It gives me more of a chance to actually think about character stuff.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. There's nobody to raid.
Yeah.